because we are joined now by Divestment Secretary Neeraj Kumar Gupta. And, you know, I think that 80,000 crore number is an important one to try and understand more. Mr. Gupta, good afternoon. Thank you for joining BloombergQuint. Can you get into the details of how you expect to be able to make up that 80,000 crore number, which, coming on the back of an already very ambitious 72,000 crores, is definitely, you know, a big one?
Well, on 72,500 crore target, we have adopted multiple approaches, and we have already crossed 92,500 crore till today.
Right.
So 80,000 crore target is for the next year. This year, the target has been revised upward to 1 lakh crore. We have to work further on that target at this point of time. But I can assure you the paradigm shift which has taken place in the divestment process to more efficient investment management process is really opening a lot of venues and possible options of divestment of stakes in different CPSEs. Thereby, we will be using all these tracks which you have seen and maybe expanding more in terms of offerings to the market. And you can be assured that investor interest is definitely supreme, because that really leads to value creation in the CPSEs.
Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Gupta. Could you break it down for us? Where do you expect that 80,000 crores to come from? Are you factoring in Air India in that? What about the 4 railway corporations that were to list in this existing fiscal?
Well,
are they accounted for in the 80,000 crores as well?
Definitely, there are 4 tracks. Minority stake sale is one. We have a long list of IPOs which is coming up gradually. After a gap of 5 years, we have listed 4 companies this year. So more companies will be getting listed. Then we have economic mergers and acquisitions which are taking place. That policy was announced last year. We are having a strategic sale which is taking place. And we have created more investment instruments, like Bharat 22 ETF has become very popular. Both ETFs which are promoted by government, CPSE ETF and Bharat 22, both exist as a product, and they can further be offered.
So may I ask you, what's on your minority stake sale list for this next fiscal?
That you definitely cannot ask, is highly market sensitive, but we will wait for the right opportunity to divest one of them or any one of them, whichever is best time for divestment.
But okay, can I at least ask you, this is the same list of CPSEs that we're working with, right? Which included at one time, you know, the sale of Hindustan Aeronautics. Are you now considering?
There are 44.
44.
There are 44 listed companies. So you can expect divestment in any one of them in the market.
Okay. In terms of IPOs, are you referring to the 4 railway corporations, sir, or are there more? Because there was also some mention in the finance minister's speech of merging all the other insurance companies and listing them. And so I'm just curious to know whether you will be looking at some of the other insurance companies besides the 2 that you did list already in this fiscal, merge them next year and list those as well.
See, you are mixing the 2 things.
Okay.
The listing of 14 CPSEs, which is on the card and is progressing well. 4 of them have already been listed after a gap of 5 years, and we will be listing more CPSEs. That is on one track. Merger of insurance companies, it has been announced the 3 other general insurance companies will be merged into one entity, and that will be taken for listing. That is the second announcement, and that will also progress logically.
So that falls into the economic mergers bracket that you were talking about, which is what you know, ONGC and HPCL was also about. Is that how you're accounting for this?
See, for creating value of investment in the CPSEs, the policy of acquisition and merger on the economic basis was announced in the last budget, and that is a logical expansion of that policy. Whichever company or whichever CPSE feels that they can acquire more economic assets and by that very process can create higher value of the enterprise, definitely government will look into it positively. Merger of insurance companies is probably one of such announcement in the same line.